Good morning, dear children. Miss Denisa here. Let's have a final lesson for math for this year. In this lesson, we will talk about halves and fourths. We will split the lesson in two parts. So we will have lesson 12.9, halves. Now, what is the learning objective? We will learn to partition circles and rectangles into two equal shares. So, the essential question is, how can a shape be separated into two equal shares? We can draw a line on the shape to make two parts that are the same size. So two equal shares have the same size. Now, let's look a little bit at this cracker. Let's pretend you want to split it with your sister. And let's ask ourselves, what does it mean if a shape has two equal parts? Again, it means they are the same size. Now, how can you cut this cracker? How can you make equal shares from a cracker? You can see here in the first picture that we can cut it like this, from up to down, and we get two sides, one here and one here. What do you think? Are they equal? Yes, they look the same size, yes? Now, how many shares do we have in this cracker? We have two shares. So two shares, two equal shares are called two halves. You can repeat with me, two halves. And here on the right side, you can see the same cracker, but look, this time we cut it like this. Not from up to top, but from this corner to this corner. Now, let's see. Do we have two equal shares here? Yes, again we have two equal shares, two halves, because they have the same size. Now, I have a question. Do you think this half, one of these halves, is bigger or smaller than the whole cracker? What do you think? A half is bigger or smaller? Of course, it's smaller because it's only a part of the whole. Now, let's see another example. Look how nice my curtains split in half, and here is our rectangle. And you can see here that a whole rectangle, we call it one whole. It's a whole. And here you can see how we can split it, yes, from one corner to another corner, for example. And what do we have here? We have two equal shares, yes, two equal shares, one here and one here. See, when we split a rectangle, remember, a rectangle in half, we get two triangles, remember? So two equal triangles, they have the same size. So how many shares does the rectangle show? Two. Yes, two equal shares. And these are called, the two equal shares are called two halves. So how many halves do we have? Two again. Very good. Now, let's see some more halves. Look here. Oh, what do we have here? A rectangle or a bar of chocolate. And if you want to share it with your brother, how can you split it in equal parts? You cut it and you obtain two shares at the same size. And here is a square that is split into two halves, a purple one and a white one. And we also have a triangle that is split in two halves. So do you think the green, from a big triangle, if we split it in a half, we get two other triangles. Do you think they are bigger or smaller than the whole triangle? Yes, they are smaller because it's only a part from the whole triangle. And here is a cracker that we want again to share it with our friend or brother or sister. So how can you split it in halves? See, we have to find the middle of it, and in this way we have two equal parts, two halves, and no one will be upset that his or her part will be smaller or happy that is bigger. Fair is to have half parts, half shares. And you can see here again a square, but this time what do you see different? Yes, the first square, when we cut it, we went from up to down. But from here, in the other square, we went from one side to the other side. Yes, but again we have halves, two halves. Now, let's see the second part of our lesson today. What is the title of this second part? Lesson 12.10, fourths. Let's see what we will learn about fourths. The objective of our lesson is to learn to partition circles and rectangles into 4 equal shares. This time we split a shape into 4 equal shares. First, in the first part of the lesson, we learned to split into 2 equal shares. Now let's see when we have 4 friends. What can we do? So, how can a shape be separated into 4 equal shares? I can draw lines to make 4 parts that are all the same size. Let's see. What do we have here? We have a sandwich, and we have to cut the sandwich into equal shares. How can we do this? First time, look at this picture here on the left side. We can cut the sandwich into halves. How many? 2 halves. 1 half and the second half. And then if we cut it from side to side also, we will obtain how many parts here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So if you have 4 friends and you want to share a sandwich with them and to give them each one of them an equal part, after you cut it in a half, then you cut it from side to side and you get 4 equal parts. These 4 equal parts are called fourths. 4 fourths. Yes, fourths comes from number 4. Remember how you spell number 4, how you write number 4, yes? And one of these little part, it's called a fourth. So each friend gets a fourth. And we have another name for this little part that is also called quarters. So if we have 4/4, we can say we have the same 4/4. So I have a question for you. Is a fourth smaller than a half? Yes, indeed, you are right. It's smaller than a half because it's a part of a half and a part of the whole. Now, let's see another shape if we split it in fourths. How is it? What do we have here? We have a circle, and when we have a full shape, we call it one whole. And here it is, our circle, that we split it in 4 equal shares. That how many? That we call them 4/4. So how many equal shares or fourths we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4/4 or 4/4. 4/4 or 4/4, they make one whole. Now, which one is smaller, a whole or a fourth? Yes, of course, a fourth is smaller because, again, it's a little part from the whole. So, let's see some more shapes here that are split in fourths. So, look here, we have a long rectangle and we can split it first in a half, and then each half we can split it in again in two, and we get fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths. Here is again our chocolate bar. If you want to split it in a fourth, then it will look like this. And here is our cracker, yes, or pizza. Yes, let's pretend you want to eat a pizza with your friends and you split it in half and then again from side to side and you get a quarter. So you will have 4 slices of pizza. And our squares, look again here and here. So you can split a square from a corner to another one and you get 2 halves. And if you do it again from the other corner to the opposite corner, you get 4 parts, 4 triangles which are the same size. So you will have 4/4. But the square, here it is, split it in another way, yes, from side to side and from up to down. And you get 4 little squares that are the same size. Isn't it fun how you can split a pizza or a chocolate with your sister or brother, and how to make it fair, how to make it equal? If you know what are fourths and halves, you will know how to do it. Great job, grade 1. And thank you for listening and watching this lesson. Take care. Bye-bye.